Punjabi Hari. Or Premanande. Jai Om Vishnupad Parma Hamsa Parabhijaka Charja Asto Tarasata Srimad Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Parma Hamsa Parabhijaka Charja Asto Tarasata Srimad Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai. Srinamacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prayam Sikao Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shaima Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagvatam Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prastaya, Bhutale, Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityananda. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nivasation Sanyavani Pastra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So good morning to all. Thank you for coming. Today's class, the beautiful Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 66, and its verses, and we're going to chant, what is that one? 43. 43 we chant together, right? And the verse we start with today is which one? Huh? Huh? What's the one we start with? 39. Okay, so it's 39 through 33. Okay, thank you. So I'll chant these first few verses and read the translation, and then we'll chant together the 43rd verse. We're going to end the chapter today. So this has been a very exciting, interesting chapter, hasn't it? Action-packed. This is the greatest action movie you could ever watch, huh? It's got everything. So I'll start with verse 39. 40. Okay, what about 43? Okay, so 40 we chant together. Okay, thank you. So we're going to chant 40 together. Verse 39. Tatsurya koti pratimam sudarsam jalwa yamanam pralayat pralayal yanalam prabham swatejasa kam kukupota rodasi chakram mud mukunda satram atangnim ardiyat. My eyes are not working well together, so please forgive me. Translation. That Sudarshan, the disc weapon of Lord Mukunda, blazed forth like millions of suns. His effulgence blazed like the fire of universal annihilation. And with his heat, he pained the sky, all the directions, heaven and earth, and also the fiery demon. So Lord Krishna's disc, Sudarshan Chakra, is like millions of suns. It may look like a harmless disc until he goes into action. And then he blazes like annihilation. It's It's similar to the annihilation, intense fire, burning the sky, the earth, all directions, and including this fiery demon that had come to attack Dwarka. So this innocent-looking disc, when we went into action, was action-packed, and he was a formidable opponent for this fiery demon. So text 40, we chant together. Gritanala pratibhatasa rangapaner. Grityanala pratihatahasa ratangapan. Astrajasasa nritpabanga mukho nivritaha. Varanasam paris hammetya sukadisidam tam. Satvi janam samadhavat svakrito charaha. Rityamalaha pratihata sarang rathangapaner. Astrojasas sa nirpabhangamuko nirvritaha. Varanasim paris metya sukad sinam tam. Satvigs janam samadhavat swakrito bigachara. Kritya, produced by mystic power. Analaha, the fire. Pratihata, frustrated. Sa He Rata Anga Panahe of Lord Krishna, who holds the Sudarshan disc in his hand. Astra of the weapon. Ojasa by the power. Saha He Nripa, O king. Bhagnamuka, turning away. Nivrittaha, having desisted. Varanasim, the city of Varanasi. Paris Ametya, approaching on all sides. Sudakshinam, Sudakshina. Tam, him. Sa, together with. Ritvik Janam, his priests. Samadhat, burned to death. Swa, by himself. Sudakshina. Kritaha, created. Abhicharaha, meant for doing violence. Translation. Frustrated by the power of Lord Krishna's weapon, O king, the fiery creature produced by black magic turned his face away and retreated. Created for violence, the demon then returned to Varanasi, where he surrounded the city and then burned Sudakshina and his priests to death, even though Sudakshina was his creator. So I say, and you can repeat, frustrated by the power of Lord Krishna's weapon, O king, the fiery creature produced by black magic turned his face away and retreated. Created for violence, the demon then returned to Varanasi, where he and his priests to death, even though Sudakshina was his creator. Purport. Srila Prabhupada comments as follows. Having failed to set fire to Dwarka, the fiery demon went back to Varanasi, the kingdom of Kasiraj. As a result of his return, all of the priests who had helped instruct the black art of mantras, along with their employer, Sudakshina, were burned to ashes by the glaring effulgence of the fiery demon. According to the methods of black art, mantras instructed in the Tantra, if the mantra fails to kill the enemy, then because it must kill someone, it kills the original creator. Sudakshina was the originator, and the priests assisted him. Therefore, all of them were burned to ashes. This is the way of the demons. The demons create something to kill God, but by the same weapon, the demons themselves are killed. Text 41. Chakram Chavishnaustad Anuparavishtam Varnanasim Sattasab Alayapayannam. Sago Puratalaka Kosha Sankulam Sakosha Hasya Aswa Rathana Salinim. Translation. Lord Vishnu's disc also entered Varanasi in pursuit of the fiery demon and proceeded to burn the city to the ground, including all its assembly halls and residential places with raised porches. its numerous marketplaces, gateways, watchtowers, warehouses, and treasures, and all the buildings housing elephants, horses, chariots, and grains. Text 42. Dagdva varnasam sarvam Vishnos chakram sudarshanam Bhuya parshvam uphatishtat Krishnas yaklishta karmanaha. Translation: after burning down the entire city of Varanasi, Lord Vishnu's Sudarshan Chakra returned to the side of Lord Krishna, whose actions are effortless. Text 43. Yainam sravayin martya utabashloka vikramam samahitos vasrinu yat sarva pumachate pramuchate. Translation: any mortal who recounts this historic pastime of Lord Uttamashloka's, or who simply hears it attentively, will become freed from all sins. Hare Krishna. Om Agyantamarindasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadanti Swapadantikam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopeka Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gourange Radha Brindavaneshwari Brishabhanustute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sanyavadi Paschatadeshatarine. So, what an exciting ending, huh? So I'll read through these again, the translations. That Sudarshan, the disc weapon of Lord Mukunda, blazed forth like millions of suns. His effulgence blazed like the fire of universal annihilation. And with his heat, he painted the sky. He pained the sky in all directions, heaven and earth, and also the fiery demon. So this demon in the previous verses was described as ferocious. He was immense, huge. He had legs as big as palm trees, gigantic, something that could be unconquerable. And so with no effort at all, effulgent, so bright, so fearsome, scared the demon. Saw the disc and decided he needed to retreat. This disc was so intense, he was burning everything. The heavens, the earth, all directions, headed right for the demon. The demon became scared. So the demon was conjured to kill. He was a killing machine. He was meant to kill. He existed to kill. But he soon realized, I'm not going to be able to kill my target, Krishna. I'm not even going to get close. I can't even get close because of Krishna's associate, his friend, his servant, the disc. I can't even get past that. He's afraid of Krishna's tools. He's afraid of Krishna's associates. Meanwhile, what's Krishna doing? Krishna's having a comfortable, peaceful game of dice with his friends. To him, nothing is going on. It's kind of like a small, insignificant problem. It's like there's a problem out there. My friend Disc, could you handle that for me? And the disc is zoom. So this is, it's hard for us to imagine the magnitude of what's going on here. This is not a small story. First of all, the demon that was attacking Krishna was magnanimous. He was huge. He was gigantic. And the retaliation by Krishna by sending his disc was even greater. Well, it was like similar to annihilation. It was so great that it scared the demon. The demon, since he has to kill, decided, I'm going to go kill my creator. That would be a lot easier than trying to deal with Krishna and his disc. So he turned and immediately fled and burned Sudakshina and the priest, burned them to ashes. So this is pretty interesting. This is an exciting story. So in the next verse, frustrated by the power of Lord Krishna's weapons, O king, the fiery creature produced by black magic turned his face away and retreated. Created for violence, the demon then returned to Varanasi, where he surrounded the city and then burned Sudakshina and his priest to death, even though Sudakshina was his creator. It didn't matter that Sudakshina and his priests were the creator. If you recall, Lord Shiva told him when he gave them this set of mantras that this creature is created, it will kill someone who is against the Brahmins. Well, Krishna is the supporter of the Brahmins. He's the Shurid, the dearmost friend and ever well-wisher of the Brahmins. You see? So it was a failure from the very beginning. There's no way that this disc is going to hurt Krishna. It wasn't designed to hurt someone who is in favor of the Brahmins, the friend of the Brahmins, the supporter of the Brahmins. Was that his disc? Did Krishna's disc make that? I'm looking for the fire. Ah. You see? So, and we all read how Lord Shiva knew that this is going to be your end. You're asking me for something that's going to backfire on you. Jai C.C. Gaura Nitai. It's going to backfire on you. You want to kill Krishna, but since he's the supporter and the friend of the Brahmins, it will come for you. You created it to kill someone who is against the Brahmins, and yet you sent it towards the friend of the Brahmins. So this is craziness. We see this is what some people call a comedy of errors. Have you heard that term? So many errors, mistakes. Sudakshina and his priest are making big mistakes. The biggest mistakes they've ever made in their life. They're there in the presence of the Supreme Lord, and they decide they want to kill him. And they were told, this creature that will be created from these mantras is meant to kill those who are against the Brahmanas. But they were so much in the mode of passion. They were crazed by the mode of passion that they did it anyway. So who can understand when people think like this? So in our preaching activities, we see many times when we're counseling people who have some difficulties in their lives, we can see that they've made huge mistakes. They made crazy mistakes. Many times they've chosen a mate that wasn't a fit for them at all. They're thinking that I'm going to have a mate and it's going to give me this union with this person. It's going to give me great pleasure. And it turns out to be just the opposite. It's great pain. I meet someone from time to time and they tell me, I ask them, how is your life? How are things going? Oh, I've just met the most wonderful man. Oh, I've just met the most wonderful woman. And I think, oh, well, very good. And it's nothing but praise, praise, praise. So then I see them a few months later and I say, how was your relationship going? Oh, it's terrible. That person turned out to be a demon. But I thought it was the most wonderful man or the most wonderful woman. Well, because you were in the mode of passion, it may have appeared like that. And now, here we are. You brought suffering on yourself because of your your poor decision making. Why did you make poor decisions? Because you were in the mode of passion. It's difficult to make good decisions, healthy decisions, when you're in the mode of passion. Because when you're in the modes, you can't access all of your intelligence. Sometimes you can't access any of your intelligence. You see, you're acting in the mode of passion. You're making crazy decisions. Lord Shiva knew this is a crazy thing that you're doing. This is going to cause your demise. But you have worshiped me so nicely. I'm satisfied with your worship, and I'm going to grant you your request. I'm going to give you this process to where you can invoke this horrible creature to attack the killer of your king, your father. So long as that person is not against, so long as that person is against the Brahmins. But they were so much in the mode of passion, they couldn't even hear it. They went ahead and did it anyway. So many times we see people that are approaching a crossroads in their lives. They can go this way or they can go that way. You see? And again, we counsel people who made terribly wrong decisions. We've all done it, haven't we? We're not innocent from that. Has anybody here made terrible decisions in your life? Huh? Yeah. More honest people? Yeah. See, we've done it. Why? It's not because we're dumb. We're not crazy. But we get in the modes. We get driven by lust, anger, greed, envy. We let it drive us. Then we start making crazy decisions. Decisions that ultimately we will regret, you see? And hopefully we'll learn from. Don't make decisions when you're in the mode of passion. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada told us again and again, keep a cool head. Sometimes the best reaction is no reaction. Sometimes don't react. If you're in the mode of passion and the world is provoking you to make some decision, to do something, choose to do nothing. I mean, unless there's a threat to your life or the life of someone else, sometimes it's best. No, I'm going to back up I'm going to calm down. I might even sleep on it. Maybe I'll decide tomorrow morning. But for right now, I feel this mode of passion. I'm incapable. I'm incapable. It's like temporary insanity. I'm temporarily unable to make the right decision for my benefit. So I'm going to back away and I'm not going to make any decision. I'll make the decision when I have a much cooler head and I can reason with this. Perhaps I'll consult some of the sadhus in my community. Perhaps I'll get some other opinions. Perhaps I'll get the opinion of my guru, Shastra. In other words, I'm going to apply intelligence to what is the best thing for me and all of the people involved in this scenario that I find myself in. You see? So this is acting in intelligence. We can see that Sadakshina was not in that mood, was he? Right. He was so angry. He was so upset. His false ego was crippled. And he wants revenge. You see? Revenge at any cost, even if it's my life. He didn't think it through. Sometimes I tell people that when they ask me questions about decisions that they're trying to make in their life. And they tell me the scenario that they're in. And now I need to make a decision. What should I do? And sometimes I can see the best thing for you to do is think this through. Back up. Tell the story again. But now this time you listen to your own words. Think it through. You see? You better think about this. You know, it's like if you find yourself about to get into a fight with someone who's twice your size. Someone needs to tell you, Prabhu, you need to think this through. You might want to rethink this because this guy is twice your size. Yes, but I'm angry. He's insulted me. But he's twice your size. Think about this. You see? So sometimes we can't do it and we won't do it, will we? We go ahead and do the wrong thing. Sometimes. But perhaps as we occasionally do the wrong thing, we'll learn from doing the wrong thing. We'll learn from our mistakes. It is better to learn from the mistakes of others. It's even better to learn from intelligence. You see? The worst way to learn is to learn from your mistakes. Although it does teach you, doesn't it? When you do something, you make a huge mistake and it causes you suffering. A lot of the times you'll realize that was the wrong thing to do. Maybe next time I won't make any decisions in the mode of passion. Maybe when I'm angry, I won't make a decision. You see? Maybe I'll consult a godbrother. Maybe I'll consult the sadhus. You see? Maybe next time I'll do it right. Because I did it wrong this time. You've got to admit when we do the wrong thing. Just admit it. We've seen people who do the wrong thing and then they try to make excuses and maybe blame it on someone else. That's the wrong thing. No, own it. You made a mistake. Own it. You made a mistake. Big deal. So you made a mistake. Just say, I made a mistake. 4 words that sometimes you have to say. I made a mistake. Or you can say 5 words. I admit I made a mistake. I admit it. Now I'm feeling better. I'm admitting to you and everyone, I made a mistake. But I'm learning
I don't think I'll do that again. And if I start to make that same stupid mistake again, I want you to remind me. Prabhu, remember, you've done this before and it didn't work out well for you? Oh, well, yeah, thank you. Thank you. You see? It's part of looking out for each other. You see? What do they say? Having each other's back. In the military, they call it, you have a friend to watch your six. Do you know what your six is? It's your back. It's 12 o'clock is straight ahead. 3 o'clock is to the right. 6 o'clock is behind you. 9 o'clock is to the left. 12. So you need somebody to watch your six. Those are your friends. Those are your god brothers, your god sisters. You need somebody watching your back. You can't do it. You can't see behind you. You can't watch right, left, forward, and behind. We depend on one another. It's like when the soldiers go on patrol. Someone may say, watch your six. Get somebody to watch your back. That's what we do. We take care of one another. So if somebody is about to enter into making a big mistake, it's your duty to tell them, oh, hey, Prabhu, you better think this through. You need to rethink this. You see? Now, even if someone had told Sudakshina and his priests, rethink this, there's no way this is going to work out, they probably would have went ahead and done the same thing, right? From the mood that we see, they're so angry, you know? Their false ego has been injured. They're embarrassed by their father has embarrassed them. He got himself killed trying to be God and challenging a fight with God. That's pretty embarrassing. You see? So, but they don't look at the fact. The king is dead. My father is dead. But, you know, he brought it on himself. No, they couldn't do that. Oh, the shame of somebody killing my father while he was such a great man. Although he thought he was God and he tried to kill God. You know? So we can see this is a string of errors and poor mistakes. It's like dominoes. You know how you stack dominoes and you push one over and they all start to fall? Causes a chain reaction. We're seeing a chain reaction of poor decision making by the king and all the inhabitants. The king's son, Sudakshina, is influencing everyone. Everyone's looking up to him. The king has been killed. Sudakshina, what should we do? And he misleads. He caused devastation to all of Varanasi. The whole place was devastated because of this insanity. I mean, when you read here, Lord Vishnu's disk also entered Varanasi in pursuit of the fiery demon and proceeded to burn the city to the ground, including all its assembly halls. The disk didn't stop with the demon. This whole town is going to pay. All the assembly halls and the residential places with their raised porches. You can picture there were probably some very attractive, very wonderful residential places, nice raised porches, there to give some comfort to someone's life. Its numerous marketplaces, gateways, watchtowers, warehouses, and treasures. This is the price that was paid. What to speak of so many lives? So Sudakshina made an error that cost him his life, and the entire city was laid to ruin because of his stupidity, his mode of passion, his anger. So we can see the devastation of the modes. When you're influenced by the modes, it can devastate you and everyone around you. You see? Those who look to you, people were looking to Sudakshina for guidance. Why, the head of the king is laying here on the ground. What should we do? He could have kept a cool head and said, let's think this through. Maybe the king was not God, and maybe Krishna is God. Maybe we have a problem here. Maybe we should not attack Krishna. Let's think this through. Let's apply some logic. Let's keep a cool head. But they went the opposite direction. Let's go get him. We need the help of Lord Shiva. At least they knew they couldn't do it themselves, but they thought, let's get Shiva. Lord Shiva will give us some method to get this Krishna. Huge, huge mistake. Mistake after mistake after mistake. And it ruined everything for everybody. So, after burning the town, after burning down the entire city of Varanasi, Lord Vishnu's Sudarshan Chakra returned to the side of Lord Krishna, whose actions are effortless. Krishna never missed a beat. Why, he had so much confidence in Sudarshan. Sudarshan Chakra go, you'll take care of this for me, won't you? And then Krishna is it my turn to roll the dice or is it yours? Krishna's completely undisturbed. Continues his casual, friendly game. No one was disturbed. Why, they were being attacked a few minutes before by this horrible demon. Many people who saw the demon coming were all upset. They were scared. They came to Krishna immediately. Oh, Krishna, please protect us. And as soon as Krishna said, don't worry, I'll protect you, they were satisfied. Everyone went back to their business as usual, and Krishna continued his game. And he sent his disc, his servant, go take care of this. Zing, there goes the disc, and takes care of it. The disc goes out, does all this damage, defeats the demon, destroys Varanasi, burns everyone to ashes, and returns. And Krishna is all this time effortless. He remains dhira, undisturbed. Just another day. So there's a lot to learn from this. The demons are always disturbed. The demons are always losing. Now, the demons may win sometimes. They may win some battles, but ultimately they lose the war. You see? Whereas the devotees, those who take shelter of Krishna, from time to time, they may become alarmed. They may become frightened. There may be some threat. But they come and take shelter of Krishna, and Krishna says, don't worry, it's okay. I'll protect you. And then they're peaceful again. Meanwhile, the demons are out there struggling and dying. You see? So the demons will always know some challenge. They live in a world of fear. They create fear for others. So fear will come their way too. You see? It's the nature of karma. If you inflict fear on others, then fear will come to you. Meanwhile, the devotees, they may become a little fearful of some situation, But when Krishna says, don't worry, I'll take care of it, immediately they're taken care of. They're happy. They're once again peaceful. Once again, they're peaceful. Krishna's game goes on. He's undisturbed. All the inhabitants of Dwarka are undisturbed. Meanwhile, there's devastation. There's devastation by the demons. Those who are envious, the modes have dragged them down. You see? Krishna and the devotees, undisturbed. So, I really like this. I like this closing verse. I'll read it again. Any mortal, that would be us, any mortal who recounts this heroic pastime of Lord Uttama Shlokas, or who simply hears it attentively, will become free from all sins. So that's pretty nice, isn't it? You've heard this attentively, and now you're free from all sins, right? So I'm going to pause here and see, are there any questions, comments?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for explaining Hare Krishna.
Ah,
Thank you for highlighting the aspect of decision making, how it's so important. I had two questions, Prabhuji. One thing was, we find here the disc of the Lord, Sudarsana, it follows the demon, the fiery demon, and it burns Varanasi. But we don't find description of Sudarsana killing the demon, destroying the demon itself. Something different from earlier when Durvasa had created the demon, fiery demon. So that time Sudarsana had burned the demon to ashes. But that similar description we don't find over here. So I want to hear some clarification that why the demon was left unpunished. I mean, not put to death. Because the demon was afflicting the Dwarka Vasis.
there's no mention. In the verses, it doesn't mention. I was waiting when I was reading these verses, what's going to happen to this demon? All I know is he was scared. And he went back and burned up Sudakshina, the priests. It started some difficulty, some trouble there. So it leaves us only to assume he was in Varanasi when the disc came, and the disc destroyed everything. So we can only assume that the demon was destroyed along with everything else, because that's where he was. When the disc arrived, destruction hit. Sudakshina and his priest were already burned to ashes. But I saw no actual description of the fate of the demon. Did you?
No.
I didn't see that. So I don't know for sure. I can only say that it apparently, since the demon, the fire demon, was there in Varanasi when the disc arrived, he suffered the same fate as everyone there and the rest of the city. It only makes sense, but I don't know for sure.
And I had the second question regarding the decision making you're talking about. We find here Sudakshina making wrong decision after wrong decisions, kind of domino effect. Just a kind of clarification on the part of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva gave a kind of curse in disguised boon to to his devotees Dakshina, because Lord Shiva knew that Krishna is Brahmanya. He is not against the Brahmana, rather he is worshipped by the Brahmana, he is surrendered to the Brahmanas. So Krishna won't be killed, only my devotee will be killed. But was he also aware of the repercussion of his decision making? That his own beloved city, Varanasi, also will be destroyed. In the course of giving boon or maybe curse to his devotee, Lakshina, why Lord Shiva also aware of the repercussion of the decision making that even his own beloved city, Varanasi, will be destroyed?
It appears that Lord Shiva was working for Krishna's benefit. So we look at the story. We have the king who was thinking that he is God. He's believing that he is God. And he accuses Krishna of being an impersonator. You're impersonating God. But yet I am God. So this is wrong and it's crazy. So the king got himself killed. Again, by Krishna's disc. Krishna's disc cut his head off. And the cutting of the head threw his head into the city. And so then everyone is upset and angry. So they have to get back at this Krishna, who they're not recognizing as being God. So they call upon Krishna's greatest devotee. They're not recognizing Lord Shiva as Krishna's greatest devotee. They're not even recognizing Krishna as having any devotees because he's fake. You see, they're still in that mentality that Krishna is a fake. He's a fake God. He's not the Supreme Personality. He killed the king, the Supreme Personality. So Lord Shiva could see what's going on. So in other words, you're not recognizing that my Lord and Master, Lord Krishna, is the Supreme. And out of your anger, your passion, you want to kill him. Well, first of all, there's no killing Krishna. Lord Shiva knew that. This request cannot be fulfilled. But yet you're wanting to attack the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I'll give you a means by which you can invoke some creature that will attack and kill someone who's not a friend of the Brahmins. Well, Lord Shiva knew that Krishna was friend of the Brahmins. But it was fair. He was fair with Sudakshina and the priests. He told them that this creature will seek out and kill someone, whoever you send it to kill, so long as that person is against the benefit of the Brahmins. That was a fair warning. So Lord Shiva gave them the opportunity to destroy themselves or to not destroy themselves. He gave them a fair warning. But they were so much in the mode of passion, they didn't pay any attention. They decided to take this opportunity and kill Krishna. You see? So it makes me wonder, was Lord Shiva working for Krishna all the time? These fools, they want to kill my Lord and Master. So let me give them the means by where they will ultimately perhaps kill themselves. Does that make any sense?
My question was, Prabhuji, that why Lord Shiva prepared for the destruction of his own city, because Lord Shiva is the presiding deity of Varanasi. So was he prepared for the destruction of his own city in course of giving the boon or curse to his own devotee and the priests? Was he prepared while making the decision to give such a boon?
What's the question?
While giving this kind of boon,
Ah,
was he also prepared for the destruction of his own city?
yeah, Lord Shiva was not attached. He wasn't attached to the city. You may burn the city will come back. This is my Lord Krishna that we're talking about here. So this is a much more important situation than my city. My city may be destroyed, but it'll come back. It'll be back. And it is back, you see. So Lord Shiva wasn't thinking, oh, I don't want, ultimately this will destroy my city, so I better give them something. I mean, what can he do? They're not going to be able to kill Krishna. You see? Even if Lord Shiva had told them, no, rethink this. Don't try this. This will end up killing you. They were so angry, so much in the modes, they wouldn't have listened. So Lord Shiva said, okay, I'll give you this weapon, and you can use it against someone who's against the Brahmins. And so they're thinking, we're the Brahmins, Krishna's against us. So again, this fiery heat of anger. Yes, let's do it. Let's invoke this fiery monster and send him towards Krishna. Let him go destroy Dwarka. So Lord Shiva knew this is how this is going to end. It even says in one of the verses, Lord Shiva knew that they're going to be destroyed. This is their ultimate destruction. Lord Shiva was not in the least surprised that this happened. So he wasn't attached to keeping Varanasi intact. Because of their foolish decisions, they destroyed Varanasi. They destroyed the lives of all the people who were living there, and all the treasures and marketplaces. And it was from their foolishness. Who can we blame? Does that answer your question? Yes.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, we see in some similar instances in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. This is regarding devotees committing offense, destroying the entire their own village or city. You see here in the case of I think the Jamindar who want to assassinate the character of Haridas Thakur. You might be knowing that the Haridas Thakur, he sent a prostitute to the Haridas Thakur and commits offense. Ramchandra Khan. So he wants to assassinate the character of Haridas Thakur and sends a prostitute. Later he commits offense to Nityananda Prabhu, and because of such offenses, the entire village or city wherever he stays completely got destroyed. We hear those cases also. I wish to know here that the other villagers who are there in the village, how, I mean, I'm just thinking it's an unfair decision, unfair deal I feel, because Krishna, how come he can put this kind of situation? There are many ignorant villagers who are there who may not be participating in this event only. How come they get affected because of someone is doing some offense?
This is called shared karma. It's like when the bomb was dropped on Hiroshima. All of those people shared the karma. So, were they all innocent? We don't know. But it's shared karma. They were together. What if there's a drought in a part of a country? It's a shared karma. It's the arrangement of the Lord. All of these people are suffering some bad karma at the same time. Now you could say, but some of these people, they didn't do any sinful activities in this lifetime. What about previous lifetimes? How do we know what we have following us? How do we know what kind of karma we have? I mean, just in this lifetime, the sins that we've committed before we became devotees of Krishna, before we came in contact with the holy name. We had no cleansing process whatsoever, and for billions and trillions of births, we were simply incurring and accumulating sinful acts. The results of sinful acts. So even if someone is a young person, just a child, then you could say, but this poor child was in Varanasi at the time, and they were destroyed. But what about the previous life? We don't know. One thing we do know is that the law of karma is fair. It's 100% fair. It doesn't pick on anyone. As you do, you will receive. As you're receiving, you must have done. It's not karma. Bad karma doesn't come to the innocent. Bad karma comes, vikarma comes to someone who's done some sinful activity. Karma comes to someone who's done pious activity. Akarma comes to someone who's done transcendental activities. So this vikarma is coming down on the entire city. So there's sins. There's a reason why all of those people are together in that spot at that time, so that they can all pay their karma in one shot. And now the debt is finished for all of them. The debt is done. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
You were mentioning about being in modes, affected by the modes and taking wrong decisions. But when we are affected by the modes, and that time I don't realize that I am being affected by the modes. I feel that somebody has done something wrong, or they have not been appropriate in their action, so they need to be helped actually. So how do we, so being affected but we don't acknowledge, rather we acknowledge someone else having a difficulty. So how do we deal that situation for ourselves?
Therefore, we need constant association of Krishna's devotees. We need help sometimes. When someone is affected by the modes, most of the time they don't know it. That's like when someone is crazy. When they're insane, they don't know it. Have you heard of that phrase, catch-22? Have you heard of that? Anybody heard of catch-22? You've heard of it? Yeah. Catch-22 means that if you believe that you're not crazy, you're probably crazy. If you think that you could be crazy, that's a sign of sanity. You see? Crazy people never think that they're crazy. They don't say, oh, I'm crazy, but I'm going to make decisions anyway. No, I know what I'm doing. Well, I'm going to go kill this person. Wait a minute. No. Why, you're too much in the mode of passion. Leave me alone or I'll kill you too. Don't tell me. I know what I'm doing. You've probably had situations like that. I know what I'm doing. They say like that. Leave me alone. If I want your advice, I'll ask you for it. Now they're turning their anger on you. They're just trying to help. So this catch-22 was a military. It came about, I can't remember the story, but psychologists, psychiatrists say that if you find some individual and they believe that there's no way that they could possibly be crazy, I'm totally sane, that's a sign that there's some insanity. Sane people may wonder, could I be crazy? Am I doing this right? Am I right? You see? In other words, I'm open. Please instruct me. Somebody, I think this. Is that right? I want to go and proceed this way. Should I? What do you think? What is your opinion? Please give me your opinion. This is sanity. You see? It may be temporary insanity when you're convinced, I'm so right and I'm going to go do this. And others may say, no, this is wrong. Don't tell me what's right or wrong. Whose side are you on anyway? This is what they do. They'll turn it back at you. You see? So, crazy people don't know. That's why psychiatrists, they don't analyze themselves. They go to another psychiatrist. Why? I have a PhD. I'm a psychiatrist. I'm very famous. But I'm smart enough to know I'm not able to analyze myself. Well, I'm going to think I'm perfectly sane. So I go to another qualified psychiatrist, and he tells me if I am or if I'm not. So therefore, we always depend on the help of each other. This is what taking shelter means. I need to take shelter of the opinions of the assembled devotees. If you get to the point where you think, I don't really need anybody's opinion, then you really need somebody's opinion. You see? Does that make any sense? Did that answer your question? What else? Anything else? Okay. Thank you all so very much. I'll be leaving. Unfortunately for me, I'm leaving tonight at midnight. I'm going to the airport and catch a plane back to United States. But I'm returning in October. Sometime mid-October, I'll be back. And I beg your association again when I return. But I will miss you. It's been, as always, it's a pleasure to be here. Have your association. Take shelter of you and Gornitai. So I thank you again and again for your association, and I look forward to having more of it. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare